Well, Toronto is one of Canada's top tourist destinations, and in case you are planning to be in the Six this summer, we have rounded up a sustainable travel guide. This highlights parks and green spaces and biking trails that will help you reduce your environmental impact when visiting the city. Joining us now with her ultimate travel guide is Karishma Porval, an eco-expert. So great to have you on the show.
Thank you for having me.
So I think one of the coolest things about this is that even if you're a tourist or you live in the city, you can take part in all of these activities. One of your favorite things is exploring the city through public transit. So can you explain the importance of public transit for ecotourism?
Yeah, so as someone who cares about the planet, public transit is a really big deal. And that's because public transit reduces traffic in our cities and gets cars off the road, which means it's also cutting back on polluting emissions. Now that's really important because greenhouse gas emissions lead to extreme weather events like the floods that we saw in Toronto a few weeks ago. Now to me, good quality public transit, it looks like when the bus, the subway, or the streetcar comes frequently and on time with affordable fares, and you feel safe when you ride. And better quality public transit isn't just good for the planet, but it also makes day-to-day life for all of us a little better. And we know that it's possible because we see it being done across the world. Now you take Paris, for example, where the Summer Olympics are taking place. Paris has one of the best metro systems in the world, and it's really complicated. If you look at a map of the Paris metro, it looks like a bowl of spaghetti, but it is still impossible to get lost on the Paris metro. Hong Kong has one of the best streetcar systems in the world with a 99% on-time rate, if you can imagine that. And I know the TTC has a ways to go, but we can advocate for better public transit, especially with an election coming up. We can ask our policymakers to fund public transit so we can have really futuristic, cool transit systems here in Canada as well.
So you've come up with a list of places you can visit without using a car. First up, the famous Scarboro Bluffs. So what's the easiest way to get there?
You can take the TTC to the Scarboro Bluffs. Now, the Scarboro Bluffs are so beautiful. If you live in Toronto and you haven't been there, I would say it's a must-see. I have memories of taking my dog Zara when she was just a puppy. The water is beautiful and blue, and the best part is if you take the public transit, then you won't be met with a full parking lot when you get there.
Yeah, no kidding. Like, this doesn't even look like it's in Canada, looking at these pictures. They're beautiful. Evergreen Brickworks is next on your list. I was sad to see it get impacted by the recent floods in Toronto. That was tough to see. It's a big reminder for all of us to reduce our carbon footprint and to take that more seriously if we can.
Absolutely. Evergreen Brickworks is a great place to visit if you're a sustainability enthusiast like I am. It's a great place to explore how Toronto can be more eco-friendly and, to your point, climate resilient. Climate resilience means how can we as a city be stronger in the face of weather events like wildfire smoke, floods, rain, heavy rain, and things like that. Sometimes we forget that Toronto is in a beautiful river ravine. Evergreen Brickworks is in the Don Valley, which is super underrated, and it's such a great place to explore the stunning nature that surrounds Toronto. And you can get there on public transit, but you can also get there using zero-emissions micro-mobility vehicles like e-scooters and e-bikes, and these vehicles run on batteries, so they're generally a very clean way to get around.
One of the things that I love about this city and that I think people who aren't from here don't know is that there are so many beautiful green spots in and around. So Rouge National Urban Park is on your list. What's the most sustainable way to get there?
Yeah, the subway, the streetcar, and the bus can get you to Rouge Urban Park. So yeah, Rouge Park is an urban park. It's essentially Toronto's answer to Central Park in New York City. And the best part about getting there with public transit is that you don't have to worry about getting sand in your car because that can be really, really messy and annoying to clean up, but Rouge Park has hike trails, it has bike trails, it has opportunities for canoes and kayaking, but also if you just want to lounge on the beach, it's a great place to do that.
So we couldn't talk about the GTA without Niagara. On the list, can you talk about that real quick, about how we can get there?
That's where the GO train comes in. The GO train can allow you access to places outside of Toronto, and the cool part is you can load up your bike on the GO train too, and you can get all the way to places like Niagara Falls, and you can explore the bike trails of the Niagara Escarpment. You can take the Maid of the Mist up to the falls. You can play the arcades at Clifton Hill, and if you check out the nearby wineries, you don't have to worry about driving home after an evening at the winery.
Karishma, I love your take on this. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you liked this, be sure to subscribe here, or you can check out more Your Morning videos right here.